find something that feels good that you can see yourself doing every day. Hello my darlings, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing 4 conscious habits I do every day that have changed my life. Those habits I'm going to be discussing are journaling, meditation, movement, and reading. These are 4 powerful habits that I developed into my daily routine that have drastically improved my life. I made these habits rituals, so they're a part of my day no matter what, non-negotiable. So even on the days I'm not feeling so great, I do these things and it definitely helps me a lot. It helps me to stay grounded. It helps me to come back to myself, come back to a nice state of peace and clarity. So journaling. I have a few journals. You obviously don't need 4 journals. 1 is more than enough. The one I recommend a lot, I'll put the link down below. Got it on Amazon. It's called the 5-minute journal. I use it every morning and every evening. It's very simple. It is definitely a 5-minute journal. There's a lot in the one page that you fill out every day. So it looks like this. Every day there's cute, really nice, well thought out quotes at the top of the page. So for example, I'm going to flip to a page and I'll read you a good quote. Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. After the quote, this journal is broken up into a day section, or a morning section, and a nighttime section. In the morning, you write 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that would make your day amazing, and there's 2 lines for an affirmation. So even though it's small and you're not just writing a bunch of pages, it's one little page, you pack a lot of amazing things into your morning and evening. You know, you don't need a ton of time to fill it out. So 3 things you're grateful for, what will make today great, and affirmations. So the 3 things you're grateful for, you might have, if you're into self-development at all, or even if you're not, you might have heard how important gratitude is. Gratitude is so emphasized because when you're in a state of gratitude, it's really difficult to feel crappy when you're expressing gratitude. And the more you're grateful for something, the more of that you'll see in your life. So that's why gratitude is so emphasized and so talked about. And it really is true. Like sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, not feel so good, and I'll write things I'm grateful for, whether they're small or large. So, you know, my health, my apartment, my life, my family, and it just does put things into perspective for you, and it brings you back to yourself and into a more positive state of mind. What would make today great? I love this because it's like a conscious little to-do list and a little manifestation technique. And I like to look back in the evening when I go back in my journal and look at the 3 things that I wrote down and see if they got done. And most of the time they do, or most of the time they do come true. And then the daily affirmations. I am ... And you just insert whatever affirmation you want. It can be an affirmation, you know, as simple as I am beautiful, or I am strong and confident, or it can be anything you want. And I love affirmations. Just like gratitude, it really puts me back into a positive mindset and a higher vibe, and it makes me feel really good. And our minds love repetition. So sometimes if I really want a certain affirmation to manifest, I'll write it more than once. Or if I want a certain theme for that day, if I want to be creative that day, I'll put I am creative. If my self-esteem feels like it's lacking that day, I'll put, you know, I am beautiful, I am worthy. Whatever I want more that day, I'll put as an affirmation, and it'll make me feel good, kickstart the day feeling good, and it will help that be my intention for the day as well. Then in the nighttime section, I like it because you can go back, reflect on the day, and see what you got done. In the nighttime section, it says 3 amazing things that happened today. So you can reflect on your day and see if those things that you wrote down in the morning happened. If not, maybe something else better happened and you can write it down. And there's a section for 3, but sometimes if I have more, I'll write more. And then at the end, it says, how could I have made today even better? Sometimes I don't fill that out because I feel like my day was fine enough. But sometimes if I see like, I went to sleep a little later, I'll write down there, I could have gotten more sleep, or I could have gone for a walk. But I'm also trying to be kind to myself because sometimes I feel like I can never do enough. So I'm like, I did all this stuff, but I didn't do this. So I kind of sometimes leave that section blank and be like, you know what? You did more than enough today. Your day is fine. So I love this journal. It's quick and easy, it's to the point, but it's a lot of good stuff in a small amount of time that you can get done. So I highly recommend this one. The other little journal I have is called What I Like About You. So this journal is nice because it's for my boyfriend. So it came in like this little date thing that he bought, and I like it because for 20 weeks, write in this journal about something about your loved one. When you're done filling it out, you're supposed to give it to them as a gift. I like it because even on the days where, you know, it wasn't such a good day for us or whatever, I write down something that he did that day or that I like about him or that I love about him. And it's like, get out of your head, let that little dumb shit go, and look how amazing of a partner you have. If you're in a relationship or in a marriage and you want to journal about your loved one, I highly recommend this little thing. And it gives you little prompts too, like if you can't think of anything to say, describe ways people describe you as a couple and why you work so well together. It's like a way to practice gratitude for your significant other. Then once you're done, you're giving it to them as a really thoughtful little gift, and they can read all that stuff and feel good about themselves, feel good about the relationship. So I really enjoy writing it in that one every night, even on the tough days. Journal number 3. I have this one called the Artist of Life Workbook, and it's a journal, but it's almost like a conscious calendar, a conscious planner. So there's like quarterly planning, there's weekly planning, monthly planning, and I like it because it's almost like my manifestation journal for on a larger scale. So I like writing things down for the quarter, writing things down for the next month, and then looking back and you see like, wow, I did do that. Like I wanted to make 3 YouTube videos, and then you look back like, oh, I did that. Like I got out of my comfort zone and I did that. So I really like that one to not only plan what I want to do for the upcoming weeks and upcoming months, but to reflect back and look at what I did that was amazing, or look at what I didn't do that month that I can pull into the next month and manifest and make happen. Finally, then I just have a regular journal where there's just blank pages and you can write anything you want. So anything from an amazing day you had to a terrible day you had to something you want to manifest to a visualization you want to come to life, or whatever ideas you want to write down. If you don't want to get any of the other fancier journals, that's a good place to start because you can write anything down, anything and everything. A human need we don't talk enough about is being seen, heard, and understood. It's great when you have a person in your life or several people in your life who hear you, who see you, who understand you. But sometimes you feel like you have nobody. And most importantly, you always have yourself. But the reason journaling is so amazing is if you don't have someone to talk to, or someone you talk to usually isn't available, or they're not in a good place, so you don't want to vent to them, you can do what's called like a brain dump and write it all down on paper. So get it out of your head, and it's like living in there and taking over your whole day, your whole life. Write it all down and let it go. Let it go on the pages. I love that. Like sometimes when I'm not feeling good, I just want to talk to somebody and be like, I don't want a solution. I just want to get this out. But if nobody's available, write it all down. Get it out of your system. Get it on paper, and then you can reflect back to it. Be like, okay, what I wrote down, it's not so bad, or I'm glad I got that out. It's like a little release of this heaviness that you're carrying onto this piece of paper. Put it away, let it go. You can come back at a later time if you want to reflect on it, or just leave it there, because if it's just these thoughts that are just living in there that you don't want to deal with, write it on paper, let it go. Next is meditation. I've been meditating a little over a year now, and I love it. It's another non-negotiable. Every morning, get up, do my little thing, and then pretty soon after I get up, I sit on my couch somewhere and I meditate. I meditate for about 10 minutes. I use an app called the Waking Up app by Sam Harris. Sometimes I'll do a free video on YouTube. I've tried the Calm app too, but Waking Up by Sam Harris is my favorite because when I first got the app, I did the introductory course, which it was like 50 days. Now I think it's only 28 days introductory course. I feel like it really taught me how to meditate, if that makes sense. I feel like it teaches you what meditation is and also what meditation is not. So a lot of people think meditation is just like sitting here and just being completely quiet and not having any thoughts and being super calm. But really meditation is observing. It's paying attention. So observing thoughts that come up, observing or listening to things you hear, observing what you're seeing, observing what you're feeling in your body. And it's observing these things without judgment, without your mind creeping back in, your ego creeping back in and being like, oh, your meditation is going good because you're not thinking, or oh, your meditation's bad because you're having bad thoughts. Like, so that's why I like it so much. And meditation is just that, like, it's a practice of observing. It's a practice of paying attention. It's a practice of presence. Because when you are observing what's happening around you, when you're observing your thoughts and coming back to that consciousness, you are the main character of your life. You are not on autopilot anymore. So meditation is not just 10, 20 minutes, 5 minutes just to feel good in the moment. It's a practice so you can have more of those calming moments throughout your life. I like to burn some sage or burn palo santo right before I meditate because it just smells good. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me centered. It cleanses the energy. I also sometimes like to meditate with crystals. So I have a bunch of crystals laid out over there. I have different ones for different chakras. The ones I pick is whatever one I see first and I'm feeling, I'll just pick it up and meditate with that one. Or if I'm feeling like I want today to feel confident, creative, which is why I'm wearing this one. This is citrine. So it's a solar plexus crystal and it is for many things, but one of the things I use it for is for creativity and confidence. So whatever crystal I'm feeling keen for that day, I'll pick it up and I'll meditate with it. I'll hold it in my hand or I'll put it next to me. And I don't know, it just makes me feel good. It makes my energy feel good. Reading. I used to always say, like, I'm not a reader. When I was growing up, I was always into math. I did not like reading books because I would pick something up to read and I'd be reading the words, reading the pages, but I wouldn't be absorbing anything. And I think everyone is a reader, but it depends what you're reading. You have to read things you're into. But then when I started reading spiritual material, self-development material, I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I think I read The Power of Now within less than a week because I loved it so much. It's something I do every day, even if it's just a little quote or a paragraph or a page. I like to read things that are positive. Right now I'm reading this book called Inner Glimpse. It's about manifesting. It's about remembering your power. It's coming back to your power and realizing that you're the co-creator of your life and that you can change your thought patterns at any moment. You can come back to your power, be positive at any moment. So I like to read it even for 5 minutes and it just kind of brings me back and I feel good and I'm like, yes, I am a co-creator of my life. I am the manifester of my life. I like reading because it's almost like a form of meditation for me. It makes me really present. You also are absorbing the author's energy. They say you're absorbing the author's energy when you're reading. So I like to read works from Eckhart Tolle. Anytime I'm feeling like I need more presence in my life, I will read and specifically read anything by Eckhart Tolle, like The Power of Now, and it just instantly brings me back and it makes me see like all this other bullshit really doesn't matter. Like the present moment, it's all we ever have and it's all that matters. So I love it because it brings me back and I love expanding my knowledge, expanding my awareness on different topics. My favorite types of books are spiritual or self-development books, but I suggest you find whatever speaks to you. And this is with anything. Find what calls to you and what speaks to you, because if you're doing something you don't like, you're not going to stick to it regardless. And that applies to my next habit, which is movement. Moving your body in a way that feels good for you. So that can look like yoga for some people. It can look like weightlifting. It can look like cardio. It can look like running. It can look like stretching. But it has to be something that feels good for you. If you start running every day because you think you have to, but you don't enjoy it, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna stop doing it. So then it just defeats the purpose of even developing a habit for yourself, because you're just gonna resent it. Try out different things, see what you like. Like when I started on my weight loss journey, when I started going to the gym, I knew I didn't like cardio. I enjoyed lifting weights. I don't like being on the treadmill for 45 minutes, you know, that's just me. So I started doing strength training and I loved it. I loved trying out different workouts. If I would have just started doing like hours and hours of cardio, I would have stopped going because I would have been miserable and I wouldn't have enjoyed it. So I started doing the weight training. I started doing yoga and I love yoga. I actually have to get back into it because yoga is just mind, body, and soul, especially if you find the right instructor that you like. I love Yoga by Adriene on YouTube.
Hello and welcome to Yoga with Adriene. I'm Adriene and this is Benji. And whatever brought you here, whether it was a Google search or a soul search, or maybe a friend or family member or coworker recommended the channel to you, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome you with open arms. You belong here.
Amazing. I always feel so present, so light, and so good after it. So movement. So important for your mental, physical, spiritual health. But again, find what works for you. Find and start slow. A lot of people get into a movement routine and they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds in a month. So they go all in, they go crazy, but it's not sustainable. Find something that feels good that you can see yourself doing every day, because just working out for a month, just stretching for a month is not going to do it. You want something that feels good that you can do every single day, that's a part of your life, because movement makes us feel so good. It releases endorphins. We feel good after a workout. Our blood is flowing. Any stagnant energy is being released. You ever see like when a dog goes outside and they start running like crazy? They have all that stagnant energy they're trying to get rid of. And we're the same way. We're meant to move our bodies, not just sit on the couch. So all that stagnant energy can just clog us up. So moving your body in a way that feels good for you and release stagnant energy, make you feel lighter, make you feel good, make you physically healthier, which is so important. And again, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Find what works for you. No matter what you do things like you love yourself, not like you hate yourself. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope maybe you take some of these things into account and implement them in your daily rituals. If there's any rituals that you already do that I did not mention, list them down in the comments. I'd love to hear what habits enrich your life. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. I will see you next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye.